One of the what's up topics, if you don't mind,
Mhm.
just a what's up career discussion. The concept is let's share with the world, how do you, Jon, how do you become you?
How do you become me?
What was your career path?
Yeah, my career path was a ton of time in the field, and I always had a big heart to help people. And I was tired of seeing people struggle. So if someone wanted to be me, it's, have a big heart, follow your moral compass, don't let anyone get in your way, do what's right. And regardless of who tells you can't do it anyway. And, I had 100 people tell me I couldn't make it to where I'm at today. And I just kept going forward because it was the right thing to do. So, yeah, if you get in trouble for doing the right thing, or you feel, threatened by doing the right thing, then that's probably not the environment you should be in. And set your goals, right? If you want to help people, if you want to achieve something, you can achieve anything. If you just set that target, right? If you don't have a target, you're always going to hit it, right? Meaning You're going to go in circles. You need to set a target, and you can achieve it.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great how you stay so true to that passion and mission. How long were you a technician, though? You've been in the industry a while.
Yeah, I went to wind school in 2010, and then went to work at GE Manufacturing for a while.
Okay.
And then the plant shut down, and did GE field service. I worked for Vestas for a while, a few ISPs. So pretty much since about 2013-ish, I was, climbing towers, middle of nowhere everywhere. And saw some crazy things in construction, right?
Sure.
Saw the woes of commissioning and chasing LDs, saw some crazy stuff. But yeah, I spent a lot of time with a lot of different companies, and I realized that despite what name is on your shirt, we're all technicians, right? We all have the same story. So I was like, man, this whole company rivalry thing is stupid,
Yeah.
So it's like the union of techs, it's like, hey, we're all wind techs at the end of the day. And and they kind of look out after themselves, but I'm trying to say, hey, let's, as an industry, look out after each other, right? And in the end, everyone wins, right?
That's right.
The employer wins, the employee wins, everyone wins. So,
and you got to see and work on a lot of different equipment.
Absolutely.
Power generation types, OEMs, locations.
Yeah, and that's another challenge. I mean, I really sympathize for these technicians that they're hired on and they're expected to learn and master, 10 or 15 different manufacturers of turbines, while maintaining, 6 different safety devices for rescue, depending on what the site requires. And it's crazy. The demand on them is insane, and it's a perishable skill to rescue somebody, and the fact that they're only doing that once a year is crazy to me. It needs to be more often. But yeah, knowing what I know now, it's like the demand is crazy on these guys. If anything goes wrong, it's like it's always pinned on the technician, Not saying it's not always their fault, but I do think that there needs to be accountability, whether it's on the technician or it's on the management or it's on the, whoever. We all need to have accountability and strive towards doing the right thing, or nothing changes.
Yeah, spot on. Can't argue with that. Steve, what's the career path look like?
Oh, I wish I could say it was because I had some insight into anything. It seems like so many of my big life choices were the wrong thing to do at the time. And I don't mean that to say, hey, always do the wrong thing for that time. But like, I joined the Navy in 2007, when we were still at the peak of, the war on terror. Everyone was like, why are you joining the military now? When I got out of the Navy in 2013, the job market was not great. So everyone's like, why are you leaving this steady career path? You could stay for 20 years and retire. But I got in solar. When I decided to leave my first job in solar, I was one of the most senior technicians. I had a pretty cush, easy job. I'd put in the time, I put in the effort. I could have just coasted on that reputation, but decided I want to, climb the corporate ladder. Got that corporate gig and was very well on my way to continue climbing if I wanted to stay there. And then, in the middle of COVID, starting a company, worst time to ever start an LLC was right there in the middle of COVID. So I wish there was just some magic thing of like, oh yeah, make this decision. But a lot of it really comes down to is being willing to bet on yourself, but not be so egotistical that you can't change directions. And I think that's one of, as a company, both Jon and I, our success comes from of like, wow, that was a really dumb decision. Let's go ahead and just put that one away and correct that, instead of just saying, well, nope, we made the decision. We're going to stick with it for the next 2 years just because, don't you know who I am? I'm going to make this decision and stick with it. So I think a lot of our success really came down to is betting on ourselves, and B, when we failed, learning from that mistake and being willing to very publicly admit that mistake in a lot of cases.
No, that's fantastic. Appreciate you sharing. And
Mhm.
you never know who can help out there, right?
Yeah.
Somebody looking to understand what their career path might be.
Yeah.
No, very fortunate. No, I appreciate that.